Hi, my name is Jermey Loveday, and we're here at Esquimalt Lagoon. And I'm from Victoria, and I'm very grateful to live in this beautiful place, which is the homelands of the Lekwungen-speaking people. And I'm here and give immense gratitude and respect, and acknowledge that as I embark on a life of learning and unlearning how to be on these lands in a good way. This first poem is called On Homecoming. My 90-year-old neighbor is gardening again. She has returned to her body enough to move her slippered feet from bed to the front yard where her hands touch soil like it was the first soil. Hands become water, a photograph, all the times her grandchildren visited, and it was joyful despite the noise. And I can confirm that the volume button is broken on those kids, as it should be. Pack of rambunctious throats open with laughter, tornado limbs breaking things with accidental velocity. Over the fence, I hear rules to games that are made up as the game goes on. Like all rules, I guess. But that is not today. Today, my neighbor is planting daylilies, which will work a whole year to ready themselves to open only for a single day. The fullest expression of hope, the work of joy. My neighbor, Sylvia, is tending to it. Her walker cast aside, her pajama knees in dirt, fingers vining themselves into tendrils, twining up her wrists, curling around her hospital bracelet, toes bracing, becoming taproot, becoming anchor, fibrous shoots webbing out in search of nutrients. She places a foxglove seed in her belly button. Carefully, she covers it with soil and mulch. Sylvia is gardening again, even though her house is a rental, even though she will never see these blossoms, even though her grandchildren will not trample these flowers and feel sorry but keep playing as they should, even though the garden will grow each year with the foxgloves will reach the sun, flowers staked taller with Sylvia and her smiling daylily face making up the rules and whispering that the game will continue, although it is not a game, and that this year she's going to be beautiful. She's going to bloom at night while no one is looking. This poem's about revenge, and it's called A True Story. Face down in the carpet, gnawing at the fibers, trying to bite the flea back. I grew up in Victoria playing on these beaches, which were my playground, my biology lab, and the source of much inspiration, and still are to this day. And this poem is about that. It's about driftwood and playing on the driftwood, and now coming to consider what it means to have a sense of home on these lands as a settler, when I have such a deep connection and love for this place. And I think that love requires of me to do the work of understanding how to be here in a good way. And this poem's called Log Runner's Waltz. My feet cling to driftwood, running shoeless, toes grabbing wood knots, strengthening into the roll of unsturdy logs, not nimble, but present, with weight transferring, toes wrapping, my eyes flirt from horizontal to downwards. The faster I run, the further ahead I look. Scout steps 2, maybe 3 logs in advance, launching to the next. The sand is lava. I am thoughtless, childful, ready to faceplant in the name of freedom. Wise old trees washed ashore, High tide, winter storm, now obstacle course, highway, bonfire heat for s'mores, cheap beer, communion, symbol of my island home, I know it, in my blood, which is new here, like some of this driftwood, escaped from log boom, fresh from chainsaw, clear cut, we settlers came to exploit the land, now this detritus of destruction, stamp of the system I claim to fight, makes me feel home. I feel it in my blood. This poem's about grief and loss and family and resilience and sometimes finding strength where you didn't know you were even capable of holding it. And this poem's called It's 11 p.m. and I'm eating cereal with my mom. Sometimes this is what grief looks like. Our humor has grown dark and we swing from it. And there are flowers, so many flowers, that our living room has become a tourist attraction. And I keep wanting to yell at all the tourists, like, how the hell do you know we have so many flowers in here? And the tourists, they'd turn quickly and shuffle themselves back to their cruise ships. My mom and I, we've shuffled ourselves as far back as we can go, and now we're searching for our reflections in our sugary milk, our sick jokes. See, my mom, she's a rock. That doesn't mean she doesn't feel things deeply. It means she can hold space for others even when she is wounded. Today, she is wounded. She wants to get me more cereal. I want to get it for her. Both our bowls are full. There's soup in the fridge. Neither of us made it. It just appeared there with the flowers and the tourists. And it turns out the tourists were actually acquaintances here out of a sense of duty, not just to watch our wilting. And that's good, because my mom and I, we don't wilt. We hold up everything around us until we break. Today, we're not breaking. That'll happen weeks from now, when the last of the flowers is pulled petals from the vase, and when my mom's house is no longer on the list of cruise ships' attractions. In each death, we search for what lasts, for what can move us past and bring back normalcy, bring back only the living into the way that we live, but in that purple old creature of a house, I sit with it. I become intimate with death, kiss it, let it smolder, let it shawl itself across my shoulders, a healthy weight that I hope to one day wear proudly. And my friend, he tells me that we need to keep death close. And the room is thick with the smog of lilies. And on the muted TV, Fort McMurray is burning. A single petal flutter dances its way to the floor, and its beauty feels cruel. A sick joke escapes my lips. I kiss my mom on the forehead and reach for the box of cereal.